What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. How is everybody doing? Grab your coffees, take a drink. That's really hot. We're going to be continuing our series on the raid bosses. If you guys are in the raid right now, a lot of teams have either already done kind of the heroic push or you're moving into heroic now. I know our team in particular was kind of staying on normal for a while to try and get everybody their tier set bonuses, which did nothing for me, of course, because I can't get a tier piece to save my life. But that's okay. So now we've kind of moved into heroic, and our team kind of blew through the first 3 bosses of the raid the other night, and then we were progging on Halandris, and I actually went and killed Halandris on heroic yesterday. So I've gotten through him already. And I'll have a video on that another day. But I'm going to go through, we're going to go through the bosses again on Heroic, and I'm going to talk about what's changed, right? So what has changed? And then I'm going to also talk about an Enhancement Shaman point of view. You know, what build is good on these different bosses? If you're just watching these videos for the first time and you want sort of an idea of what's a good build to take into the raid, then we will talk about that as well. So this is the boss we're going to talk about today, Vigilant Guardian. This is the first boss of the raid fight. And it's a pretty easy fight. Not a lot has changed from the normal version. I'll get to the VOD in a second, and I'll kind of show you guys. But let's highlight really quickly the only thing that really has changed on Heroic is that the defense matrix automas, which are the guys that are on the outside of the room, there's 3 of them on the outsides of the room, they drop the unstable core that you have to take and throw into the wall in order to summon this guy, right? So these defense matrix guys, it's these orange guys here, they're on the outside of the room. When they die, they drop a core. They used to just die and drop the core right away. They don't drop the core right away anymore. When you do the big shield mechanic where you have to stand in the circle that the defense matrix guys are giving you, once you're done taking that damage, now you have to kill the defense matrix ad. He doesn't just die right away. So you have to kill him, and then you can take the core into the boss. So not a huge change. You just have to kill this guy, and once you're done doing the force field thing. Now, as well, the force field that is created by the defense matrix guys, it reduces damage taken by any of his allies as well. So you can't tank the mobs inside this circle anymore. You just can't. You have to try to kill as many ads as possible outside of the circle, and then once you move into the circle, you can have your tanks just sort of taunt the enemies and hold them just outside of the range of this force field circle. And I'll show you exactly what I mean when we get to the VOD. But that's literally it for heroic difficulty. I've looked through all these abilities. There's nothing else that really matters on heroic. Everything else just does a little bit more damage than it used to deal. That's it. The final stage is no different. He just, once he gets to 15%, he just hunkers down and starts doing damage to you. So it's just these force fields that have really changed, and that's about it. So let me flip and show you my build. What is, I think, an ideal build to run for Vigilant Guardian. Now, I ran Witch Doctor Wolfbones. You can run Primal Lava Actuators. They both work fine. So you could run something like PLA or Witch Doctor. They both actually work perfectly well. Primal Lava Actuators gets extra value because there's a lot of ads on this fight. There's a ton of ads, right? So you'll get a lot of extra Primal Lava Actuators value during the ad phase, but on Witch Doctor Wolfbones works because once the boss does roll out, once you get to the final stage where the Vigilant Guardian himself actually rolls out of the wall, it's just a single target fight at that point. So that's where something like Witch Doctor Wolfbones will really shine. So either one of these is perfectly fine. I don't think something like Skybreakers on Enhancement Shaman is super good on this fight. It's okay, but not super good. So either one of these builds will work. I ran Witch Doctor Wolfbones, and I also ran Necrolord. You can get tons of extra value from the cleaving of the Primordial Waves, right? You send your Primordial Wave out, you spread your Flame Shocks, and you can get like 4 or 5 Lightning Bolts off during the ad phase, which gives you a huge boost in haste, which is really helpful. But generally speaking, it doesn't really matter. Night Fae would also work really, really well in this fight. It would be exceptionally strong. Here's the build that I ran. We had Magma Fist, we had Chill to the Core, and we had Focus Lightning as our conduits. I am running Plague Divisor Marilith for the extra 120 mastery that you get right here whenever you Fleshcraft. That just gives me more damage, right? On top of that, we ran Ellie Blast, Hot Hand, Hailstorm. I'm going to continue to say this over and over again. I do think that Hailstorm is the superior AoE option in this row compared to Fire Nova. I think Fire Nova is great. Fire Nova has more uncapped AoE potential because it can hit more than 6 targets, right? Because if you have 6 targets with a Flame Shock and each one of those targets detonates with a Fire Nova, each one of the other targets can get hit by each Fire Nova. It ends up being like roughly 36 targets that can get hit. So the AoE is really good for me, but Hailstorm, because of Chilled to the Core, just generates an absurd amount of Maelstrom weapon stacks. And on this fight, if you're running Witch Doctor Wolfbones, that's ideally what you want to go for. So that's the build that I ran. Let's jump into the video here. Let me move over here. Get rid of that. Let's full screen that. Okay, so let's jump over here. This is what the arena looks like. Let me just show you. Let me just talk for a second about the opening fight. This is the wall where the final boss is going to roll out of once you get enough cores thrown into him. You have to throw all 3 cores. Now, the cores come from these orange guys right here. See this big orange guy? There's another big orange guy over here. That's 2 of them. There's one behind us. We can't see him right now. So there's 3 in this room. Once you do the shielding phase, those guys will become activated. Then you need to kill them. Then they drop a core. And then one of your people on your team has to run the core into the wall and throw it. Okay? Once you've thrown 3 cores, then the boss will roll out of the wall and you start the final phase. So, that's that.
Live when Quag if you want to. Did we get everyone? Everyone good?
Drop the orb. So
for
here's
us.
the
Now we
opener.
gotta work
What you want to do is be killing ads near one of these
for it.
orange guys, the automated defense matrix. See this yellow bar? If you've never done this fight before, you kill ads near one of these defense matrix guys. Then the energy from the ads fills up this bar in the top of your screen. Watch as they die here. They will fill up the energy bar for this defense matrix guy so he can do his shield ability, right? So they're dying. You can see the yellow bar is filling up. When this big guy dies, it'll fill up a lot. So we'll get ready for that. He's dying. 3, 2, 1. Here comes the yellow bar filling up. You can see it going up there. So
Did you say Hagro?
this guy,
Oh, sorry, Liv.
more ads to kill.
Watching the jury
There, this guy's starting
today.
to activate now. You cannot tank ads inside of his shield anymore. On normal, it didn't matter about the shield. On heroic, this shield matters. So our ads are standing inside the shield, and we need to move them out.
We're
And ads will spawn from everywhere.
Word for him.
Obviously, we're just
Old as
dodging other
shit.
projectiles and stuff.
Old as shit. Oh, watch out of the beam. Thank you, Liv. Good job.
So then we're at about 80% for the yellow bar. You're gonna see it's filling up. We're almost there.
Which healer's doing this stuff here?
We're at 88. We're at 90%.
Channel.
Okay.
So we need to
Yep.
get in soon.
Maybe Trank as well, and then we can solve with dude.
Get in the bubble.
Get in, get in, get in.
So now the boss does like he nukes the whole room. So you have to be standing in this circle, but you can't bring the ads into this circle, or else they're also become like invulnerable. It's like 90% damage reduction. So you can see our tanks are right here. They're tanking the mobs just outside of the circle. They're kind of standing just in the circle, and they're tanking the mobs just outside the circle. That's what you want to do. Here comes all the damage. You do want to pop a defensive here because it does a lot of damage. The shield is protecting us, of course. All the damage is going off here. You don't ever want to step outside the circle or you die. Then this defense automa will become activated now. On normal, he just dropped an orb for us, but he doesn't anymore.
Oh, is it Samson?
So there he's activated. We're going to kill him. He has literally no health. He dies really quickly. Then our monk is going to grab the orb, and he's running it. He's running it to the front of the room. Okay? So then you rinse and repeat. We're going to take these ads to the next area over here. Here's the second defense automa.
I don't know.
Let's
no,
just skip
standing
ahead
in.
here. Now we need to get in. We're doing the same thing again. We're at the back of the room now. This is number 2. The ads are in here, which is really bad. So they're going to take 90% reduced damage. So that's kind of rough.
You guys have this. A heal.
There you go.
There we
You're
go. The
gonna
tank
heal
moved them
us?
out, which is
Thank
great.
You. Thank
Quaz,
you.
just take a look at the front guy. I got this orb here.
So then, for some reason, this happens to us every time we do this fight. Depending on where you tank the ads, you might have this defense automa and the front defense automa. Look at the front guy there. He's got a circle around him. That means he's going to be activated which is bad. It means he's going to drop a core, and we need to go pick up that core like right away and throw it into the boss. So I stick around the back here.
I
This
think
core is
He's
activated. This guy's also activated. So you don't always want to do it that quickly, but it doesn't make a difference if you do it that quickly.
Yeah, we have to kill him. Go kill the front guy.
So we stay
Some
here
people
and
stay
kill
here,
the back
this
guy, and then I grab the orb. They're going to kill this front guy. So it's no big deal.
I got
There's the orb. You can see it right there. I click on it and I start running. It's good for shamans because we have Ghost Wolf form. It does slow you down once you pick up the orb. It's nice to have like a Warlock gate. Those work really, really well.
Kill ads first.
Once you get close enough, you can see Quaz has got the other orb right here. So the two of us are running it in. He throws it in. Your extra action button will change. Then I throw mine in. Now we have all 3 orbs into the wall, and the boss is going to roll out. So that's all that's changed for heroic. It's just those
Definitely take care of these
protective
before
zones
we
that you can't tank
go
the
see
ads in
Bubba.
anymore, and you have to kill the defense automas in order to get the orbs in the first place, rather than them just giving you the orbs for free. So then you just get to the burn phase of the boss. There's nothing too important here. If you've never seen this fight, you will get a debuff on you. Let me see if I can find it here. You obviously just have to dodge this stuff. You're just blowing up the boss. See, our Demon Hunter has a debuff on him right now. See that yellow arrow? So in about 5 seconds, he has like one of those white orbs will drop on top of him. Let's see if we can see it here. Watch over here by the DH. It spits out a bunch of white orbs. See all these white orbs that just got spit out? All these white orbs right here. It kind of spits them out, and then they all start collapsing in onto wherever you dropped them off from. So you have to like run out of the group, and it'll spit out the balls, and then you need to get out of there before those collapse onto you. See, they start collapsing in. They're all moving in. The DH has already left, which is good. He gets out of there and doesn't get killed. So there you go. That's the only mechanic that happens in this fight, except for dodging stuff.
2%.
Once you get to 15%, we're at 16. Watch this. You can see his health in the top corner here. We're at 16. There, we get to 15%. He starts doing core overload. This is the final burn phase of the fight. This is when you want to lust. Use heroism here. And then you want to use your defensive cooldowns. Things like darkness. Things like, obviously, all your healer cooldowns like salvation, spirit link. If you have a disc priest, use the bubble here. You can see we're all taking ticking damage. All of our health bars will slowly tick. That ticking damage ramps up in power. It gets worse and worse and worse every time he does it. You can see in the bottom corner here, we have 10 stacks of core overload, and then it goes to 11, goes to 12, so it just gets worse and worse. We're all pretty geared, so we nuke him down before it even matters. But if you don't have enough damage during this phase, you will die to that core overload. You'll just die. So that's the fight, guys. That's the whole fight in a nutshell. Not too complicated whatsoever. It's pretty easy. Not much has actually changed on the heroic version. Let me just highlight one more time what is actually different. The defense matrix that are scattered across the edges of the room, they have a force field. You cannot tank the ads in that force field anymore. You have to tank the ads outside the force field. Once the force field stage is done, then the defense matrix automa will be activated. Then you can kill him. Then he will drop the orb that you have to take. That's it. That's all that's new. That's all that's changed on the heroic version. So, again, nothing too crazy. It's a pretty easy kill, and I'm sure you guys will be able to do it just fine. We kind of blew through the first 3 bosses. I'm going to talk about Skolex and Zymox in my next couple of videos, and I will also do a video on Halandras, who I have killed. So, that's a really fun fight. I like the Halandras fight a lot, but that's Vigilant Guardian. This is Enhancement Shaman. We did take Witch Doctor Wolfbones into this fight. I was running Plague Divisor Marileth with Magma Fist, with Chill to the Core, with Focus Lightning. Get that 120 extra mastery from your Fleshcraft. Did I turn off my sounds? And that's the build, guys, in a nutshell. That's what we did. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these kinds of videos, then make sure you drop a like down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you doing with your life? Get down there and hit the red button and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Until the next one, guys, we'll see you later.